Do you know why your health insurance goes up every year? Well, there are two reasons that people generally think causes their health insurance to increase each year, and there are actually two reasons that it actually does increase every year. We're going to discuss first the two reasons that people think cause their health insurance to go up every year. Those two reasons are their age and the amount that they use their health insurance throughout the course of the year. And first, just because you had a big birthday, maybe you turned 40 or turned 50, doesn't mean that it's going to drive the cost up significantly. Yeah, sure, when you do hit those big age milestones, the policy will increase some. But again, not to the extent that you're going to see that big jump year after year. And then again, as far as people who say to me, when I tell them that, oh hey, your policy went up 10%, and then they start yelling and saying things that I can't say to you right now, and they say, well, I haven't even used the plan, why is it going up? And then there are other people who think, well, I shouldn't have this done, or I shouldn't do this because if I claim a lot of services throughout the year, then I'm going to get hit with it on the back end come next year when my health insurance renews again. And neither one of those approaches really has, again, any major contributing factor to your overall health insurance renewal. The two biggest reasons your health insurance increases each year is due to the people that you are insured with and due to medical inflation. First, the people that you are insured with directly impact the price of your health insurance more than anything else. If that risk pool has a bad year collectively, it does not matter how you used your health insurance, what age you turned, they are going to have to spread the cost across that risk pool to cover the additional expenses that they were not expecting. To give you an example, let's just say that you are insured with 100,000 people. I know that's probably not likely, it's probably a much bigger number, but we're going to use smaller numbers that are nice and round that I can work with. And that 100,000 people, of those 100,000 people, let's just say 80,000 of them claimed significantly more money than what your insurance company anticipated. Well, contrary to popular belief, insurance companies do not have a mint in their basement. They aren't printing money. They have to find that money somewhere to pay for those services. If they did not collect enough money from the other people in the health insurance pool to cover the cost of those 80,000 that did not do so good that year, well then you're going to see that increase be spread across the entire 100,000 people, and there's going to be obviously more money to be paid out for everybody, regardless of how they personally use the plan. And the second thing is going to be the medical inflation. Just like inflation with anything else, things get more expensive each year. Medical services being one of the more rapidly growing costs that we are seeing. And because of this, that's why you're seeing the larger increases. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, what can I do? How can I prevent this? If I don't have control, if it's not directly tied to my age or my usage, then what do I do? There are two things that you can do to lessen the cost of that renewal each year. The first one is you can look to jump from company to company. If at one point in time you feel that your insurance company has increased their rates to an amount that is not acceptable, then you can look to see if there is another insurance company out there who would be willing to offer you a better deal. You are fully within your rights to do so, and you can do so as often as you would like. The only thing that is going to stop you from doing that is your tolerance for filling out insurance applications. The other thing that you can do is look to make a plan change within the current company that you're already insured with. Sometimes, depending on the company, they will mail out to you or email you options of plans that they consider to be downgrades, that reduce benefits in some way, whether you increase your deductible or take away a copay for something. Those options will then lower your cost and get you back down to something maybe comparable to what you were paying before the renewal. Those are your two biggest things that you can do on a year-to-year basis. What I like to do for all of my clients is provide them with a yearly health insurance evaluation where come renewal time, I will give you a call. It's definitely not one of my most anticipated phone calls of the year, we'll say, simply because I have to call and tell you that you're going to pay more for the same thing that you already have. while it may not be enjoyable for me, it is part of my job, and it is an important step in the process for you to help keep your health insurance under control. So once I give you that phone call, then we will go through those options that we just presented as far as what's going to work best for you. Can you make a switch? Can you make a plan change? Do you want to make a switch? Is the increase acceptable for you? And I'm going to give you a pretty good idea as far as if this is average, on par with what we're seeing, even though it may seem a little steep to you. It could just be, again, the trend of the medical inflation and everything else that's going on. Or I could tell you that, yeah, they got a little greedy and they're taking a little bit too much, and we can look to maybe see if there's another company out there that'll do better for you. Those are important ways to keep your medical costs under control. So if you're currently not working with somebody that does that for you, if you haven't had your health insurance looked at for quite a while, I would encourage you to reach out and make sure that you have somebody doing that for you. Obviously, I wouldn't mind being the guy to do that for you. You can send me an email, joey@jingolainsurance.com, or the phone numbers are listed on our website for you to give me a call. I'd be happy to set up a time for me to evaluate your health insurance, especially if it hasn't been looked at for a couple years. I can almost guarantee that you're paying a little bit too much if that is the circumstance. So next time that you get that health insurance renewal in the mail, just know that you did very little to directly affect the results of that, and know that a vast majority of that was due to circumstances out of your control. So again, as always, there is a blog post on jingolainsurance.com. It is linked in the description of this video. So please feel free to click through to that, read it, and get some more information on this topic if you feel so inclined. Also, please feel free to like this video, plus one to tweet about it anywhere that you may come across it. We would appreciate the support. So again, this is a little insurance quick tip for you. I'm Joey Giangola with Giangola Insurance Agency. So long, everybody.